7:30 exactly. The suspected leader of a carjacking operation in Philadelphia is now under arrest, charged with 2 murders. Police say 28-year-old Jonathan Akubu is charged with the murder of 60-year-old George Bracella and 28-year-old Air Bachet. Bracella, a father of 4 and Marine veteran, was shot and killed during a carjacking while visiting his mother's house on February 4th. Police say Bachet was killed during a carjacking on February 12th on Grover's Avenue. A mobile mechanic, his brother says he just brought his wife and 11-year-old son to Philadelphia from West Africa. City and federal officials say Akubu was the ringleader of a carjacking ring appearing to target Toyotas. But so far, through video surveillance and ballistic evidence, they linked him to at least 2 other city carjacking-related crimes. And of course, knowing that we have more than 200 carjackings that have been reported in the city just this year, a lot of folks have questions and they want to know more. So we're bringing in Deputy Commissioner Ben Nash, who's giving us the latest in the investigation. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So I think the first question is, like I mentioned, the fact that we've had more than 200 carjackings so far this year, and then we hear that Akubu, who was arrested, was a carjacking ringleader. How many carjackings do you guys believe he was involved with?
Well, he's been charged in at least 5 incidents. We think he's responsible for a number more. We're investigating that. It's hard to say exactly how high that number could go, but he's somebody that is clearly in a lead position for a significant number of carjackings.
Yeah, that is a significant number. And I guess that means you guys are also looking out for the others who were involved in this ring.
That's exactly right. I mean, at this time, the person who we believe has organized the ring, he's in custody, but that just means that we have the other individuals that were working with him. We'll be doing a lot of work to bring those individuals to justice. So we still have a lot of work left in this investigation.
Is there anything so far, and I know, like you said, there's still a lot of work left to do, but so far what you know, based on what Akubu was involved with and based on some of the instances that we do know, that separate them, or some distinguishing factors that folks can be on the lookout for when it comes to this particular ring?
You know, all indications are that they were targeting certain vehicles, and that's going to be the most difficult form of carjacking to defend against. They had a car that they targeted. They were looking to take it no matter what, and it's just not easy at this point, or we're not sure of exactly why they targeted the specific vehicles. It looks like the vehicles they were targeting were mostly Toyotas, so we see a connection there. That doesn't mean that everybody that's driving a Toyota should necessarily be afraid of that type of a group. There are reasons that we'll uncover in the future about why they specifically were targeting the Toyotas. They're unusual because we know that they were we believe they were profit motivated, that they were stealing the cars clearly for money. And that's not the case in a lot of what's been responsible for the spike of the carjackings. I mean, we think that people have been doing it just because it's been a nationwide trend. We think that it's been discussed on social media, and it's been driving especially juvenile, younger offenders to be doing this. They think it's a game, but they're going to find out in a hard way that it's not a game when they face the consequences of the criminal justice system.
Yes, especially after that press conference yesterday announcing the fact that you guys found the ringleader here. And you mentioned that you guys are still investigating why they're targeting Toyotas. I guess for most people that's in this, they probably think, well, are they easier to break into, or usually it's more than that?
So, you know, all of the modern cars have gone to a push to start with a key fob.
True.
So it's not an issue of one car make being easier than another. The key for the offenders, the key for the people who are committing these crimes, is that they need to get the key fob from the person that has been operating the car. Now, some people just drop the key fob in the car and they drive and they push the start and then they leave the car. They might leave it in there, or at least they might take it with them when they leave. Others have it in their pocket at all times. They might push, and then they get in the car and you can just press the start button on the car. I think that's a big thing that has changed in modern vehicles, and that's made a movement towards carjacking as opposed to just stealing the cars. In the past, car thieves would be able to break a steering column or do other forms of getting the car to start, and now they really need that key fob.
And that is certainly something we've been discussing as we've been doing more segments on carjacking. So where do you recommend folks keep it? I know we've been telling folks to keep your cell phone on your person so if they do take your car and your belongings, you're able to call 911. But when it comes to that key fob, I guess you have to have it on your person as well, right?
I mean, most people are going to keep it on their person.
Yeah.
I keep it on my person when I'm driving. It's in my pocket. And if a situation arose where if I was unarmed and confronted with somebody pointing a gun in my face and they wanted a piece of plastic that's going to control the vehicle, I'm going to give it to them. I mean, at this point, if somebody sticks a gun in your face, you ought to be presuming that it's real, that they're ready to use it, because we've seen that has happened. Give them the key fob, let them take the car. Most people have insurance on the vehicle. I know it's a traumatic experience to go through, but it's just not worth somebody losing their life because somebody else wants to get a hold of the metal and their car.
Right.
We'll do everything we can to track the vehicle down, and we'll go after them. We will be arresting a lot of the individuals for these crimes.
And that's the other thing you think about. Have you found, because of the fact that some of these are deadly, which makes it that much more scarier, do you find that when people cooperate, you do get left alone, or it just depends on the motive of the person who's doing the carjacking?
You know, it does seem like when people are cooperating with the offenders that they're not going to be harmed. The person who's doing this is more likely than not scared. Maybe they're on some form of a substance. They're getting a high. They may not be in a right state of mind, but they know they're committing some very serious criminal act. They want the key fob. They want the key. They want the car. They want to get out of there. They know that if they do a shooting, there's a much greater likelihood that they're going to get caught for that crime. So we don't think that they're inclined to just shoot people who are cooperating. Typically, what we've experienced is when someone resists, that's when the violence starts.
Gotcha. And I know you've alluded to the fact that you're going to be catching more of these criminals in the future. This task force, the carjacking task force, what's the plan then moving forward? Because these do seem to keep happening on the news. Seems like almost every day we're reporting on a new carjacking.
Well, we are, although I can tell you that today was a significantly less amount, or in the last 24 hours, less amount of carjackings. Perhaps the message is really getting out there. We're starting to see a downward trend in the number of carjackings. I mean, we saw an incredible spike in the beginning of the year. We put the group together, our carjacking task force, in the end of January, and we dedicated a group of experienced investigators along with supervisors from our major crimes unit, with the support and the assistance and the partnership of our state and local partners, most notably the FBI and the ATF. The FBI have incredible tools and resources that have really assisted us, and they were overwhelmingly instrumental in helping us to identify and bring and make the arrest of Mr. Akubu. Now, they are continuing to help us with identifying the people who have committed the offenses with him. And the ATF also offer an incredible amount of support. They provide other resources that we just don't have the ability to do. Plus, their specialty is really about the firearms. And I can tell you, in the case of Mr. Akubu and the two homicides that we know he's involved in, matching up the ballistics was a critical piece of evidence. So we are doing things that we weren't always doing prior to the task force getting up and running. Maybe everybody is going to be a Monday morning quarterback and say, well, why weren't you doing it? Well, we have been focusing on violent crime, but carjackings hadn't been seen as concerning at the time. And now we are. And now I think that the people who are doing that are going to understand that there's a much greater likelihood they're going to get caught because of our work through the task force.
Well, we certainly hope, Deputy Commissioner Nash, that they are getting that message and that it's going to make a difference. Thank you for the work that you've done and giving us information about this latest big arrests. And of course, we want to mention that our thoughts are with the Bracella family and the Bechet family because they have really dealt with the ultimate loss. So thank you for that update, and I'm sure we'll be talking more in the future as things move forward.
Thank you.